I had to grind like that to shine like this in a matter of time I spent on some locked up in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do. This what they've been waiting for?
Welcome to the Panther Pride Podcast. You are here with your hosts, Terrence and Justin, and today we have a special guest with us.
I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this.
Best world history teacher in this school, the CEO of Making Fire Fits, and probably the chillest person on the planet.
Mr. Lacewell.
Mr. Lacewell, yes sir.
Glad to be here,
Now, we see you so much in the school, but, we don't really know that much about you. Like, what's your story? What's your come up? Like, how did it all start?
Oh, my story starts all the way back in 1997, July to be exact, the 24th day. It was a Sunday, great Sunday. Born into a military family. So, crazy enough, my mom was one of the military.
Really?
Yeah, she was. So, from basically the time I was born and really could remember, I just always been moving around, growing up in military households, like rules, strict. So just in my everyday life, it's like I abide by the rules, I do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I don't try and cut corners that often. And then, I just go home and chill. And then ever since, I want to say 10th grade, I've been in Georgia. So that kind of like fully rounded out my personality and everything. Once I got here, got to high school, because before, my schools weren't majority black. Like when I got here in 10th grade, my school was like majority black. So that's when like 10th grade, fully in high school now, because 9th grade, I'm not even counting that. That was just in North Carolina. That was a lot. But yeah, military background, chill. I stay to myself more often. So I'll just be in the house.
So this is your first year teaching, right?
Yep, first year.
How has this first year impacted you?
I have questioned if I wanted to have kids more often than not. But other than that, I'm enjoying it. Definitely realizing more about myself as a person. Teaching y'all and everybody else. I'm like, oh wow. I was expecting this to be completely different. I was expecting to be like going home crying. At the end of the day, from my mentor teacher, he told me, do not teach in APS your first few years. Just go to like Gwinnett or some other county somewhere else first, and then you can come in after get some experience. But me growing up, I've always been hard-headed. So I was like,
so you didn't listen?
I did not listen whatsoever. I immediately was like, yeah, we're gonna apply in APS because it's a shorter drive from my house. So, yeah, but it's been good. I've surprised myself way more than I thought I did with how well I think it's been going. So,
yeah, I can say I really enjoy your class. You teach pretty good.
Thank you.
Like, all the stuff is, like, up front. Like, you don't just, I hope y'all know y'all have a test tomorrow. Like, you actually let us know.
We just learned this. You have a test tomorrow. Don't even worry about it. If you don't study, it's your fault.
Like, you just let it, like, going to your class is, like, it's less of a burden, Like, it's not a burden at all. Other classes is just,
I don't want to be here.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be here. When you go in your class, it's just chill.
I told myself I didn't want to stress myself out. So I knew the best way to do that is not by stressing y'all out with all this extra stuff. And that's why I be getting mad, because literally everyone be like, oh, Mr. Lester, your class is so easy. Yada,
how are you
yada.
failing, bro? And
that's exactly how I be. I'm like, so how are you sitting here with a 33 and we're 2 weeks in? Like, we've had 4 assignments by now. Literally just.
Hey.
That's what I get for being the cool teacher.
And then it'd be all the bad kids in your class. Not saying they are bad. They're just.
No, they're bad.
All right. All right.
Do you feel there's things that aren't in the teaching curriculum that should be?
Like social studies wise?
Social studies wise, honestly, the thing I really want is for like the school districts to have like more field trips planned. Because this is my first year. So I'm sitting over here trying to think like every once in a while, I was like, okay, so what field trip can we go on that'll like,
Contribute to our learning.
yeah, that'll contribute to your learning and also be like fun.
Yeah.
For like y'all to be out of school for like a day that you'll want to be like, oh yeah, the next social studies field trip, I definitely want to go.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the Rock the Vote stuff, that's cool. That's a great field trip, but that's only for like those like juniors and seniors, the people who are about to be out voting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just crazy because there's like, I know it's not related to like world history, what I teach, but there's a lot of history here around Atlanta
That you
we
could go like have fun with.
that we can go and have a field trip with and just make a day out of it.
Yeah.
Throw some small assignment in there because it's still got to be school related.
Yeah.
But,
sure.
Nothing too crazy.
This wasn't an originally planned question, but like, do you have a favorite class? This is gonna make a lot of people mad.
Hey,
I have to do it. Do you have a
have
favorite
to do,
class?
We have to pop the question, man.
Jesus.
How about this? No. How about a favorite day? A day or B day?
Don't do that.
That's better.
Don't
better.
do that.
That's better though.
That's gonna make us argue.
That makes it look.
Because now I gotta go through the pros and cons of each class.
That makes it less singular. Like instead of
Okay. Okay, that's
oh
fair.
goodness. Let's see. If we're going off of A days and B days and not just like favorite class, can I say favorite classes?
Yes.
Instead of
Yeah.
just picking one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot better. Literally every class except my 3 classes. Like 3A and 3B, every class except those.
That's crazy.
I be looking forward to every other class except 3A. The 3A is the one I definitely do not be looking forward to the most. But they're starting to turn around since I started doing those like daily participation points.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh yeah, my grade is dropping fast. I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing with y'all this semester. So
Oh God, I thought this semester I was like, what if Mr. Lacewell come back and he's just super strict on top of everybody? I'm gonna be like,
But he's
nah, this
not-
don't fit.
But he's not strict though. All he's doing is like trying to get people to focus on what's going on.
right, like I'm not being strict. I'm not just saying like, oh, everyone, come in and put your phones up because I never really argue with y'all about this. Like when I needed y'all to like put it up, I'll say something then.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, I know people, even if some people put their phones up, they're still not gonna be like here,
Yeah.
focusing on it. So
Some people just be zoned out and whatnot.
Yeah. That's really what it'd be like. If there any ideas or like what we can do like as a community to improve our school as a whole?
get more parents involved.
Yes.
Because I've heard the horror stories of people calling parents' homes and they're like, this isn't my problem. You deal with them while they're at school.
Yeah.
So you figure it out.
That's just crazy. But it's not all of the parents. It's just some of them.
It's just some of the parents. It's normally like the kids that really need the most help, whose parents
It
don't
do be like that.
don't
Because
wanna
it be,
support them for some reason.
the kids who always in the hallways and stuff, they parents be the most like strict parents. They'll be on top of their kids. But when they get to school, it's just
They
a
act
story.
different,
all
but,
crazy.
like, it's a difference from being strict and actually giving your kid attention. If
Yeah.
you would have give them attention, they probably wouldn't end up how they was.
Because it's like, I just feel like if more parents like participated more in school, because I know my mom, she was always at like every one of the parent teacher conferences. It was my mom and dad. They showed up, and I was, I graduated like 15, 16 in my class. So they was always here. It's like, oh, how he's doing, oh, he's doing good, blah, blah, he's talkative. But, that's it, really.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't cause a problem. He does his work. He's great in class. And that really be it. So I really feel like more parent presence, like, we could have, like, more events that, like, involve the parents, too, that they would actually want to come out to.
Yeah. We did something like an art festival or an art coffee house last year.
Yeah.
It was pretty smooth.
Pretty smooth. I remember my middle school, we used to do a whole bunch of stuff like that. It would just be like every 2 weeks, I'm thinking, like every Friday,
Yeah.
where like they just come out and they just have fun.
Uh-huh.
And it just made everybody get more involved with the school. Like whenever like whenever we want to go on this big old field trip, or they want to go on like the large vacations and stuff like that, or like you just need parent help with like chaperones and stuff. They want to get involved.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. What does our school culture look like to you? Explain what you believe our school culture is.
Oh goodness, school culture. From what I've seen, from what I see, like the culture, like I feel like over the years, like before I got here, the culture like slowly just been like taken away. Because what I heard, like we used to have like pajama day during Spirit Week, and other stuff like that. And it's like there's teachers here that want to do more than just the usual stuff that we're doing all the time.
If I have, whenever I get a large sum of money, like whenever I get paid, I don't spend it on clothes.
Yeah.
I spend it on, to be honest, people, connections and stuff. So
Yeah.
I can get more money with the money I just made, and I can invest it and build more revenue. So whenever I'm older, I can buy as many shoes as I want, as many clothes as I want, as many pants as I want, and I won't have to. And that won't just take a whole chunk out of my paycheck or my account, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Out of all the subjects, what made you choose history?
Oh, that one is easy. So first of all, I am terrible at math. anytime a kid asks me, "Hey, can you help me with this math homework?" I'm like, "No, you will fail." English, I can write decent papers, but history, I was just always good with dates in school. Like when I was ever in my history class, I was like, okay, so I know this didn't happen in 1862, so it's got to be this answer.
Yeah.
So that was it. Plus, as I got older, it kind of got more interesting, like seeing like how stuff happened back then, and be like, oh wow, they really came out with catapults, and then it immediately was like, oh yeah, we got gunpowder now, so y'all really in trouble.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of why I like history now. Because, like, I play a whole bunch of historical games, like Assassin's Creed and For Honor, and, like, just a whole bunch of history games. So I hear about the stuff that we learned in the game, as well as, like, shows. Like, so, like, what we're learning about now, like, the Mongols and stuff, there's this show called Marco Polo, bro.
Yeah.
That literally speaks about what we were going through. Not what we were going through, but what they were going through.
yeah,
In the show.
Yeah, I like history too. I'm starting to like it more because like last year history was all right. But I'm starting to get more into it and like see you can make correlations and what actually happened. To me, I feel like it's a bunch of stuff that's left out of history.
Oh no, there's a bunch of stuff left out of history.
Especially what they teach us now. It's a bunch of stuff that's left out because they don't want us to know.
Yeah, that's why I used to tell people, like, once you get to college, you can really just start researching this stuff on your own. Because if I teach it now, I'm gonna get fired. So I'm just like, hey, when you get out of high school, you know, just look at this, this, and this, and you know that'll start you on the path of discovering all the other stuff that happened in history. There's a lot of stuff I didn't learn until I got to college, and like my friends told me.
It really tells you how messed up the world was.
It still is.
I mean, like, it still is, but you don't just catch people running around with swords pillaging your village, though. Like, nah, it ain't like that. Nowadays, it's more in like a...
You got politicians coming in saying, oh, I need this neighborhood to build a strip mall.
Yeah, like, it's more, what's the word? It's more professional now. Like, it's more high up.
It's more political.
Back in them days, they just show up with torches and junk and be like, hey, man, we need
want
this
your
fortress. Right. We gonna get it the easy way or the hard way. It's your choice. It's your choice. But, yeah, it's crazy, man. Not any ideas. Do you feel that there's some things like the students need help on, like when it comes to like teaching or like effort or like support or stuff like that?
First thing I would say is how exactly to take effective notes. Because especially in my class with the stuff I teach, it's a lot. So writing down every single word isn't exactly just gonna help you. That's
It's just gonna take a long time.
Right, it's gonna take a long time. I be telling people like, you can paraphrase this and put it in your own words, but then it comes to like, oh, I don't know how to put what's on the board
Into my own words.
in my own words. So really, just probably just comprehension and reading skills.
Yeah.
That people need help with more, because it's like I can look at it and put it in shorter words, but me doing that for you
Won't help you
Is it gonna help
understand
you
it better.
because now you're reading it the way I read it.
You're gonna paraphrase what I wrote, but
Right,
you don't
and
get
you're
the
not
lesson.
and you don't understand what I wrote. So I'm just like, y'all gotta
Understand it for yourself.
right.
Like learn it yourself. But
If you could go back into college and change your major, would you?
Yes, because I would
Yes.
I would specifically go straight back to my bachelor's and just immediately just go straight for teaching there, because then I would have had. Well, I still would have did, the regular 2 years of just the basic classes first and the extracurriculars and all that stuff, getting out the way. Then I would have did like my teaching chronicles and stuff, like while I was still like younger and still had more energy. And then I could have just went back for my master's for like more specialized stuff instead of just going for middle and secondary education with a concentration in history. Because if I would have did that, I would have been way more set up and prepared to come into teaching, because I could have been like, oh yeah, did my bachelor's, got that. It's like still want to do my master's, so I would have went back and like I probably would have still been just working my GRA job on the campus, and then coming to teaching. Like okay, I had my 2 years of my practicum, yada yada. Now I'm more ready and prepared to actually teach.
Would you like to say anything to your classes or the rest of the student body? Wait, before you do that, actually, I just thought of a new question. How do you feel that the students could show more teacher appreciation?
By going to your class on time and coming prepared. Like, honestly, having someone come in and say, oh yeah, I don't have my computer. Y'all need y'all computer
why?
every day. Y'all need your computer every day. If y'all would stop leaving it in the classroom, like for the past week, I've had 2 laptops in my classroom. I'm like, how did you leave your laptop here and you were just sitting at your desk ready to go? It's always in the 4th period too. But
It's because they be ready to go.
yeah, but just come to school prepared, ready to actually learn and do the work instead of complaining when I say, oh yeah, we got work to do, or ask me, what are we doing today? Notes and work. It's history. We got a lot of history to go through. I can't just give it to y'all and just
Expect you to know it.
Right. I got to at least try and explain it somewhere. Like me saying it and y'all hearing it and be like, all right, so this happened,
And this
it kind of related to this. So, but yeah.
Back to the last question. Anything you would like to say to your class or the rest of the student body?
To my class and the rest of the student body, do your work on time when we give it to y'all in class and turn it in, because that is the best way to not fail, because we can tell you if you did it wrong then, and then you can just, redo it. So come to class, do your work on time, turn it in. That's all I got.
One last announcement. I would like to say thank you to the admin, the teachers, Mr. Lacewell for stopping by,
Of course.
Mr. Davis for sponsoring us,
Most definitely.
Save the
Also,
Music Foundation for all of this
for
stuff.
all this beautiful equipment they provided us with.
This is really nice.
It is.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
When this beef, I turn my enemies to memories.
Guess what?
With them, they go
Yeah.
from 40, ain't no
Yeah.
10 the king. Hold up, broke, turn rich. Love the game like Mitch. And if I leave, they